Okay, this is the Grunig G-Coat 406, and this is how you set it up. Well, after taking this out of the crate and carefully assembling this gray stand, then this was placed by two people, because it's pretty heavy, placed by two people, placed it on the stand. It is now ready for setup. And the next thing you have to do is have your maintenance guy hook up the air to it. And it may require getting certain connectors so it gets connected correctly. Take this off. It's on both sides. It's important that you remove these, and they come off pretty easy. Here, and turn it, and it comes loose. These have to come out. And save them, by the way. Don't throw these away. You want to save them in case you ever want to transport this someplace. Say you're moving to a new location. You want to make sure these are secure. You don't want things moving around because it can throw things off. Also, as far as saving goes, this little package has the fuses. Make sure your maintenance guy knows about these fuses. You may need them. So I'm going to cut this. Now I'm going to attach the cord. Make sure you have the right power for this machine. This is 110, this particular one, but they do come configured in different power ratings. I'll plug this in. Okay, once you get to this point, probably the important thing now is to know how these work. And it's pretty self-explanatory. By the way, there's a front and a back to this coating machine. It's got a mark here, a little red dot and a black dot. That indicates the front and the back of the screen. It's important you do it that way, because if you turn it around, you could have some real problems. So, and I'll show you that in just a second. But the important thing now is that you know what these controls do, and it's pretty straightforward. This first one here is coating the inside or the squeegee side of your screen. Then I go to the next one, and that goes to the other side, or the print side. This is controlling the tip of the coating troughs. It's going to tip up like that, and it's going to put emulsion onto the screen, and it'll coat up. Next control is for the speed. The farther up you go, the faster it goes. Now you can coat too fast. I would recommend at least starting out at a number 5. Now the next one is relatively important, and that is the profile of your screen, like this screen here. When we're talking about profile is the width here and the width here. So measure this. This one happens to be 1.5 inches, which is approximately about 38 millimeters. So if I know what that profile is, I just go here to whatever the millimeter size. The closest I got here is like, looks like about 45. So I'm going to set it at 45. That's a good setting. By the way, once you get set up, there's really nothing else to do except if you want to change your coating sequence and your speed. Otherwise, pretty much everything's going to stay the same. Now the next control can be a little confusing until you get the hang of it. And this will just show you the sequence here. Let me just show you here. I said that would watch it. See, it's flashing. Nothing else. It's just showing you that that's what the control will do. So I'll push the button again. Opens it up. I'll do this one. See, just the back. Both. Set it up here. Right here where you can see it shows a continuous circle. Watch what happens when I push this button now. By the way, I recommend going through a dry step before you coat your screen. You've got to make sure everything's set up correctly. Now, you say, well, this obviously is too big for my screen, so how does it know when to stop? There is a little thing right here. See this? It's a bar. That bar Once it reaches that bar, it knows it's time to stop. It's important. Never mess with that bar, you know, because it's very, very sensitive. So keep it clean. That's the important thing. So now let's put a screen in to show you what I'm talking about, how to set up the screen. Before I do that, let's just look at the coating trough. This is one of the coating troughs here. This has a lid on there to help slow down the drying of the emulsion in the trough. See this little hole here?
Just a sec.
That hole is a lineup hole for this little spot right here on the press, or coater. So I'll just put this, remember, black to black, red to red. So the black goes on the back, set it on, and just clips on just like that. It is now set. And I do the same thing for this. Red one. That's it. Okay, let's take your screen. Again, squeegee side always faces you. So you set your frame on where you think it looks good. That looks good to me, so just bring that over. Now you got your setup for the size of your screen going this way, but what about this size? How do you adjust that? Well, that is pretty easy. What you do is you take this handle, hold your screen tight, push this button, and the screen frame will drop right down. Let up on it, it's now locked in place. Now, one more step just to make sure things are right, because the last thing you want to do is put emulsion on in here and find out you got it all messed up. So I'm going to do what, again, we call a dry run. If I have it set up wrong, with say I move this a little too far over where this sort of runs into that, it could cause the screen to rip.
Okay.
That's why a dry setup is important. Oh, I almost forgot one important thing. These coating troughs come with a blade protector. See this? Remove this blade protector. That would have been cut that one off. Save these and put them back on when you're not using the coater. So pour some emulsion in now. Alrighty, let's see what happens. So take my screen, put it in, make sure it's up against that stop. With one hand, hold on. Oh, by the way, on this, you see this? Your screen frame is going to rest against that. If it's like this, that's no good. There. Now it's locked in place. Everything's set to go. Drum roll. Woohoo! Look at that. Automatic coating, perfect first time, every time.